Oops. Hello, hello, hello. Sorry I'm a few minutes late. I couldn't find the main piece I needed to do this page. I looked all last night and again this morning, so I had to swap my ideas midstream. So now I'm a little discombobulated this morning grabbing things. Well, I had things, but just changing it up as to what I'm going to use. So I think I'm organized, ha ha ha. But before we get down to showing you, the start of my journal and giving you an idea of, how I like to do things, I do have a couple of different ways. Couple of announcements. There will be no videos tomorrow and Friday. So no videos Thursday and Friday, because of course tomorrow, Thursday, is Darlene M's free demo on color layering techniques. And I mean, her samples are gorgeous as always. And she always has so much information to share with us and so many great techniques. So if you can, please stop in between 10:15 and 12:15. Stay for as long as you can. Stay for the whole thing. Stay for half an hour, whatever. We'd love to see you. Morning, Laura. And there is no video on Friday because that is Linda's 3D camera album class. And that's something that I know a lot of you have been chomping at the bit to get a chance to do. So that is Friday, and that is a long class, but definitely well worth it. So no video Thursday or Friday, but back to the usual on Saturday, which I believe will be a sale Saturday. So as Vic mentioned yesterday, we have decided to turn June into Journal June. This is the journal I have been using the most the last month or two. There are a few. You saw this one. I still haven't put the arch in it. I want to put a picture or something in it, but I haven't quite decided what. So this is, of course, unfinished. And then this is Diane Reevely, more her, a lot of her stamps and sentiments, her paints and everything. I like bright overall. There is another one in here that I never really finished because to me it was just, I can't find it at the moment. It was a little too dark for me. And then there was this one that I was mucking about with. Again, looks a little unfinished. I'm sure I'll add to it. So there we go. Morning, Liz. So this morning I'm going to start on this page. And we're going to try, in ages. So we're going to do sort of a kooky birds of a feather type thing. So I'm hoping these guys will do what I want them to do. When I'm doing something like this, I do kind of like to mirror in a lot of ways. So, oh, come on, you guys, come on up. I'm not asking too much. So, it's not an absolute perfect replica in each corner, but I do kind of like to sort of something similar on each side, sort of balances. So these are just old, not really a stencil, but akin to a stencil. So I'm going to put this one down here. Oh, they are sticky, which is a good thing. Now, okay, maybe I'm not going to use this one. Come on. There you go. And let's put you up like that. There we go. Let's grab some inks. Some brushes. And as I say, for this one, quite often I prefer bright colors. So we're going with Twisted Citron and Peacock Feathers. The Peacock Feathers I thought was rather appropriate because we are doing feathers after all. I'm hoping these guys, yes, there we go. They are giving me a bit of what I want there. And then we'll just, same sort of thing down at this end. Go. So that's given me a bit of a green hint there. Well, more than a hint, really. And then I'm going to come in with just a bit of the peacock feathers. And just sort of just around the edges a little bit. Yeah, it doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, I tend to, oops, that guy's shifting on me. I change my mind from minute to minute and day to day as to just what I want my journal to be, whether I want it to be just somewhere where I'm practicing different techniques or somewhere where I just create something fun to look at. So, I mean, it doesn't have to be any one thing. It can be whatever you want it to be. So, and, you know, as I say, use masks instead of stencil. Sometimes, you know, same sort of thing. Really, it's just you're getting the negative of if you were using your stencil, which sometimes that's more fun. You know, sometimes you just sort of want the color. So there we go. Just sorry about my arm going across there. I'm just trying to pop everything in the water so I can get these masks clean. Come on, there we go. So, oh, there we go. There's a start to my madness. And as I say, I was sort of going with a feather theme. And I was sticking with like blues and greens. I don't know why. Really, it just... those are the colors I decided I wanted to play with. So, you know, once I get that down, I mean, I like white space, so I've got some there, but, and I'm going to want some more for some of the other things I have in mind. But I also want to get a little bit of texture in. And I wanted something that was sort of reminiscent of feathers. So I grabbed this Lavinia stencil, and I'm going to play with this a bit, you know, pop it around in a few different spots. And again, I've grabbed blues and greens. Of course, there's the Stencil Butters. If you know me, you know I love my Stencil Butters. This one doesn't have its label on it. That's not handy. But this is the lime green. So, and I'll grab a couple of palette knives here. And I'm just going to throw a little bit of stencil butter around. I'm going to go a little bit more with the blue because we've got so much green already. So a little bit down here. Oops. A little bit more than I wanted. Oh, we'll do a little bit. I'll just do it this way then. And, oops. Didn't have baby wipes at the ready. So, and we'll do just a titch. I think I'm going to stick to the blue with the stenciling, and I'm going to do just a tiny little bit right in here. So now I'll throw this in my water here. Thank you so much, Liz, for bringing those trays in. They sure come in handy. And I had somebody tell me the other day that they couldn't understand how I could keep my journal so clean. And I said, well, I haven't really used it all that much, so give me time. Well, I may keep the journal clean, but as you can see, I don't keep me clean. So that is the start there. Now, of course, we've got to let this dry. But while we're waiting, I'm going to add the start of some splatters here. And I'm just going to use my fan brush. And I'm debating on whether or not I should use, you know, something along these lines or just, you know, a silver. And I think I'm going to go with something along these lines. So I'm going to go with this one. Now, you can always come back in later and add more, but this is just gives me a start. Plus, doing it now, I don't have to sort of mask any of the other things that I want to put on here. So there we go. Rinse that off. Sorry about my arm going across there, folks. And I'll just set that there. So I'm just gonna set this off to one side to dry a bit more. And then I'm gonna now I use some weird things to create different things. So this is just, as you can see, tissue paper. But it's got some sparkles in it, so you got a little bit of interest already. And I do tend to fold it a bit so I can rip it a bit easier. There we go. And whoops, put the lid back on my stencil butter, that would help. Got my ink, and we just need stamps. There they are. Now, some of these I will stamp directly onto the page as well, but some I want just for fun, like this guy. And the nice thing about stamping on the tissue paper, especially with the sparkles in it, is the tissue paper, I mean, I'll cut around it and I can set it over some of the stencil butters, and the stencil butters will still show through, and the tissue paper will still, you know, still show the image. So I don't have to do quite as much coloring this way. Mind you, I do enjoy coloring as well. Whoops, mind. And it does take a good impression, as you can see. So, well, there's that one. Let's see. And let's go with this guy. Whoops. Okay, this is not going to be perfect because I didn't ink the whole stamp, but if we don't tell anybody, they won't know. I'll just cut it off there. Just grab a pair of scissors here. And now you've got two choices with this. You can just leave them like this, or you can get very, you know, you can fussy cut as tight as you want, but I tend to, because it is tissue paper and it is a little, you know, it doesn't always stay where I want it when I'm holding it, because it is a little flimsy because it is tissue paper. I tend to just sort of quickly go around and when we put it on our page, honestly, I cannot remember where I got them. I will try and do a little bit of investigating for you. I know there, I was looking for my Tim Holtz, you know, the Goofy Birds. And I found these where I thought, you know, or the Silly Birds, I should say, should be. So, but it was one of my, I'm going to organize spells, and I didn't necessarily keep all the packaging for some unknown reason. So I will do some investigating and see if I can figure out just what they are and if Vic can still get them. And if she can, I will let you know. Yeah, as I say, my original intention, I was going to use the first of the Lavinia sticker stencils, the one with the bird. Had a great idea for that. I can find every other sticker stencil, and I know I have the first set because I have used it. So I have a feeling that the sticker stencil is in with the paper or what of the last project I did using it. So, okay, so let's see how this is doing. It's still damp. I sort of expected that. So I'm just going to let this dry a little bit more before I put these on, and I will just sort of lay them, you know, over the stencil butter and just put them down with some white glue. And because the glue will dry clear, it'll hold them down. I mean, I can just put the glue over top of the tissue paper. The glue will soak through, it'll adhere everything down. So what I want to do next is I have a couple of things. I'm going to move this out of the way again. And then I'm going to, oops, I just realized the time. So what I'm going to do next is tell y'all I'll finish this next week. Yeah, so that's where I'm to so far. What I want to do, and what I will do, is I have the Tim Holtz feather dies. I'm going to die cut a few of those, you know, as a little bit of texture. And so my main premise, and I'm going to die cut the birds on the wire with the upside down. And this stamp, the sentiment is every family has a weird relative. If you don't know who it is, then it's probably you. That's sort of my premise for this whole page is, yeah, we all have that weird relative. So I will leave this to dry, and then I will finish this off next week. So I will get the things die cut. So next week we can just sort of finish putting the whole page together. So thank you so much for hanging out with me this morning. At least I've got 3 steps done here. And we will continue on next week. But again, remember, no video Thursday and Friday because of the demo and the class. And please come on down and join Darlene M for her demo. And if you are in Linda's class, Remember, bring your class kit, and please check craftycapers.com under classes for any extra supplies you are required to bring. Okay, that's it for me today, ladies. I look forward to seeing some of you in the store today, or talking to you through email or on the phone at 250-585-0022. And I hope you all have an absolutely fantastic day today and get some time in your craft area. Have a good one. Bye for now.